What's up, guys? Lance, the Obscure Movie Guy, coming to you once again, bringing you 3 more movies you guys should be checking out in light of everything else that's going on in the world, and it is definitely crazy out there. We've got Rudy Giuliani and Matt Gaetz under investigation. President Biden addressed the Congress last night. Didn't really impress me much. And the NFL draft is today. I'm sure there's a lot of you going out and having an NFL draft party for some ungodly reason, because I think I'd rather watch paint dry. Or watch one of these hilarious movies that I've got picked out for today's video. The first one I want to talk about is going to be 2017's Dear Dictator. Dictator stars Odia Rush as a teenage high schooler who has become pen pals with a Caribbean British dictator who's forced to leave his country and seeks shelter with her in suburban America. He ends up teaching her how to start a revolution of her own to throw over the mean girls at her high school, which is kind of funny. And the movie stars Katie Holmes, Michael Caine, Seth Green, Odia Rush, and Jason Biggs. The movie's entertaining enough. It runs about 90 minutes. The cast is good. It's a good cast. I mean, Seth Green plays a dentist with a foot obsession. Michael Caine's the dictator. Odia Rush is the young girl. Katie Holmes plays the single mom to her. And Jason Biggs is the social studies teacher. So, not a bad flick. Came out in 2017. It was actually on the shelves for a long time. The script was originally done as a table reading back in 2006 at the Nantucket Film Festival. And then a few years later, it would also be screened. It would have a pre-screening at the same festival under the French name of Coup d'etat. Ironically, all of those cast members have essentially worked with each other in other films. Katie Holmes was in Batman Begins with Michael Caine. Michael Caine was with Seth Green in Austin Powers Goldmember. Katie Holmes was also with Odia Rush in The Giver. And ironically, I don't think Seth Green and Jason Biggs have ever shared any screen time together before this movie, and actually they didn't have any scenes together, but ironically enough, 2012 they both did the voice for Leonardo of the Ninja Turtles on the Nickelodeon version of the cartoon. Jason Biggs actually had to step away towards the end of season 2, I think, to do different things, and Seth Green filled in for him for the rest of the season to finish off and do the voiceover for that. So even though they weren't really together in doing that, they both did the same character. So that was kind of cool. The next movie I want to talk about is probably a bit taboo, and I'm kind of surprised it was even made. It's 2017's Special Unit. Christopher Titus stars as probably the worst cop in LA, and due to the Fairness and Disabilities Act, the Van Nuys Police Department is forced to hire 4 undercover handicapped detectives, and he's going to be the training officer. It's actually a pretty hilarious movie, and if you like the movie The Ringer with Johnny Knoxville, then chances are you'll probably like this movie. It's an underdog story, and it gives a different perspective on special people. It's lighthearted, it's enjoyable, and it's good times. I'm surprised it was made in 2017 with everything being so PC these days, but they got away with it on this one, and they did a pretty good job. It was pretty hilarious. Movie was a good time. The jokes aren't necessarily done in bad taste, and even though the 4 handicapped officers don't necessarily make good officers, together as a team they do work well and create one good cop. And of course, it's an underdog story. Christopher Titus learns to be a better cop in the end, and they do stop a shooting. So it's all good-hearted. There's some funny jokes in there, but again, it does teeter on the whether it's PC or not. I thought it was funny. I didn't get offended, but then again, I'm not handicapped. Well, that's probably a matter of opinion too. So and also, obviously, you saw Billy Gardell was Captain Wynn. He plays the captain in that movie. He's famous from Mike and Molly, Bob Hart's Abishola on CBS. So, good times. So definitely check that out. The last one I want to talk about is a movie written by Bobcat Goldthwait called God Bless America. It came out in 2011. God Bless America revolves around a guy by the name of Frank Murdoch who is terminally ill and has had enough of the monotonous and mundane life that he lives. And he's simply had enough of the stupid, cruel, and repugnant members of society, and therefore decides to go on a killing spree. And after he kills his first victim, he's witnessed by a young teenage girl named Roxy, who decides to tag along, and together they go on a killing spree to rid society of anyone they find of no real use. It stars Joel Murray as Frank Murdoch and Lynn Barr, both of which are not very well known, but Joel Murray has done a lot of TV stuff. He's been on The Conners, The Lodge, Big Bang Theory. And Lynn Barr starred with David Duchovny in 10 episodes of Aquarius. The movie was written and directed by Bobcat Goldthwait. Luckily, he's not in the movie, so I know a lot of people aren't big fans of his. He's obviously not as popular as he once was. Crazy stand-up comedian from the 80s, you know, the guy with the crazy voice from Police Academy. But he's also the writer-director. He actually did a really good job. This movie I liked. It's actually a pretty intelligent movie, and it's kind of funny because they do start off basically going after reality TV stars, and reality TV sucks for the most part, so good on them, I guess. I don't know, funny either way. All of these movies were really entertaining. I mean, all of them ran about 90 minutes, so it's not like it's a huge waste of time if you didn't like them, but really they're all entertaining enough. So again, something to watch instead of all the crap that's on mainstream media. Something to give you a good chuckle. You'll at least belly laugh at least one time during these movies for sure. But yeah, check them out. You can find them IMDb TV, Tubi, Vudu. You know, a lot of those apps kind of run with a lot of the same movies, with the exceptions of a few. So but yeah, check them out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And like, subscribe, and comment to the YouTube channel. Check me out on Facebook. And I'll see you guys again in a few days when I run the headlines for this past week. So, see you then.